Hello students, welcome to your science class. Let's move on to the next topic. The last topic for this block is liquid to gas. You will be able to explain how a liquid turns into a gas and how a gas turns into liquid. In this picture, you can clearly see that water is boiling and steam is coming out of it. This process in which liquid turns into gas on heating is called boiling. We boil water to make tea, coffee. We boil milk, we boil the food that we eat. In all this process, the liquid turns into gas. Or when you are boiling water, the steam comes out, that is the gas. How do we dry clothes? We wash our clothes and put them out in the sun to dry. So after a few hours, you can see that your clothes are completely dry. So what happened to the water that was in those clothes? Even in this process, the liquid has turned into gas, right? The water that was in those clothes dried up and it turned into water vapor. But did we boil those clothes? We did not boil them. So what is this process? It is called evaporation, the process in which liquid turns into gas using the heat of the surroundings. Some of the examples of evaporation in our daily lives are drying of clothes, using a blow dryer to dry wet hair. You can see the kids, they're out of the pool and they're under the sun and a puddle of water which dries up. After heavy rainfall, when there's puddles everywhere, it dries up. It is a process of evaporation. The same thing goes on between evaporation and boiling. The liquid turns into gas. But evaporation is a natural process. It keeps happening in nature all the time. In evaporation, the liquid turns into heat. The liquid turns into gas using the heat of the surroundings. Sometimes the heat of the sun, sometimes the heat that's present from nearby objects. The similarity between boiling and evaporation is that both this process can change liquids to gas. But something different between boiling and evaporation is that for boiling we need to put it on a stove or provide extra additional heat to it. But in evaporation, the liquid uses heat from the surroundings. Evaporation is a natural process. It happens in nature all the time. What do you see in these pictures? Do you notice the water droplets outside the glass and the bottle? Where did they come from? Now this process is called condensation, the process in which gas turns into liquid on cooling. Another example can be dewdrops that you see in winter. In winters, when it's very cold outside, you will see that objects that have been kept outside or plants will have drops of water on their leaves. That is condensation. Those are nothing, those drops of water are nothing but the water vapor in the air. As the air becomes cooler, this water vapor turns into liquid. In the second picture, you can see a man who is inhaling steam. You can clearly see a man inhaling steam. We do that sometimes when we have a blocked nose. We can inhale steam so that it clears our nose blockage. Now, when we take steam, we can see that there are water droplets on our face. This happens because as the steam touches our face, it cools down into liquid. So condensation is the process in which gas turns into liquid on cooling.